Welcome back, guys. Scooter Gang here. We've got the Ausom Gallop. Pretty special scooter, and I'll get into that here in a moment. I was riding by our local university scooter shop, and they only sell mopeds. I was on this Ausom Gallop scooter, and I realized that this scooter is special. It's one of the first scooters that the price has come down far enough. It's cheaper than a moped, and it's more powerful. Their cheapest moped is $1,300 out the door here. I'll show you it. Versus this scooter right here, which is $1,099. And yet when you compare horsepower, a moped has about 2.5 horsepower compared to this, which has... So this is coming from the Titan factory, and if you know much about them, you know the T10 DDM, aka 010X. That was their original scooter, and this is basically an updated version of that. Across the board, you get a lot of refinements that make this scooter a beautiful scooter, such as the removable battery. We'll go over the rest of it here from the top to the bottom like we always do, and then we'll show some ride clips and show you how this scooter really rides. To start off, this scooter has a key, which you then turn on with the power button down here. Underneath the throttle here, there is a button, a little hard to find if you're not used to it. This is sort of a standard e-bike throttle. We'll get to that in a minute. But to turn the scooter on, hold that, it's gonna flip on. The screen is very similar to the Roadrunner screen that we just reviewed. If you're familiar with that review, it's gonna show mostly everything we need and not be any color. That would be the one thing lacking from this. It's a little basic. And a lot of these components on this scooter, you'll see going through it here, it's a little basic, but that's okay. That's $10.99 for this scooter. You're not gonna get the newest tech in a $10.99 scooter, but for this brand here, you're gonna get a tried and true tech. It's a brand that's been around for many, many years now. This Titan factory has been making scooters for a long time. So you can trust where it's coming from, and it has a good lineage. Similar to a Mukata or a V-set, very similar lineage on this scooter. Now this does come with relatively simple grips here. They do spin around the handlebar a bit, so it would be nice if they locked, but it's not like it's dangerous out while you're riding it. This would be the one mod I put on this scooter, just ignore that. Just a little extra grip cover on the brake handles. These are also nice if you ever wreck. This is gonna protect this from taking much damage. While we're here, we'll talk about the brakes. These are actually pretty decent, I think, compared to nut brakes or zoom brakes that are on a lot of other scooters. They're pretty equivalent. For this price point, I think they're spot on. The braking is smooth and consistent and reliable. I haven't had any problems with braking at all, and we're still on obviously our original pads and everything. We do only have 113 miles on this scooter right now. They sent me this scooter maybe 2 months ago originally, and then they told me it was sold out right when it showed up. So it just kind of sat around and I didn't ride it for a while, but it's running perfect. Everything's great. This is a pretty standard button cluster here that's going to control our headlight, as well as blinkers. I'll show you these blinkers outside later. They're okay. I do think always blinkers could be brighter, but as far as scooter blinkers go, they're pretty decent. I think from the front could use some more, obviously, but from the sides and the rear, looking pretty good. This has a little beeper. Pretty annoying, if you ask me. I kind of wish all scooters would just have horns and not have this beeper, but it is what it is. We have this single dual button, kind of following the theme of these other buttons, right? And the throttle is, it's a little bit just cheap plastic feeling. Not to like hate on the scooter, but that's sort of like just how it is. It's not like nice CNC'd metal or anything like that, but it's $10.99, so you're not expecting to get perfection. You're expecting to get cheap and easy to fix. So let's talk about that while we're here. Is they did at least make a very nice wiring harness for this. You can see every single device is plug and play. So if say you do lose a throttle or something, you can just unplug it and then plug the new one in. You don't have to deal with soldering any wires or any nonsense here. But along those lines, they didn't really cover this up. It would have been nice to get a little more wire wraps and a little more fit and finish on this. But it's not like it looks terrible. It's accessible. Think about it that way, that it's easy to work on. It turns on always into gear 1, and then you have to pop it into gear 2, pop it into gear 3. Now we will show you the throttle mapping. So I always show this in a lot of my videos where we try and hold and then gradually build up 1 mile per hour at a time until we're at full speed. Let's see how well this scooter can do it. It starts to creep really nice. And this one does have nice control, you notice when you're riding it. Very nice control on this scooter. Can ramp it up one at a time very easily. It's well mapped. The throttle mapping is on point. However, I do think that this could be more ergonomic. It's sort of just a generic throttle. The InMotion RS I have over here has one that's just a bit better, more comfortable, and a lot easier to control in small increments. This sort of flat design like this just is not ideal. It's not terrible, but like I said, it's just kind of cheap feeling. And if they had put like a little nicer one on here, freewheel, full throttle, get about 46 on the dash. I do have top speed run. I'll show you that while we're out riding, and some acceleration testing. Scooter does have a very nice sort of stem cover design here. It feels good, it's strong, it's sturdy. The stem itself is very strong feeling, no flex or no movement, no play at all, with the very solid folding mechanism here. I like everything about this design. Very similar to that Roadrunner RS5 Max that I had reviewed. Here it's just very solid. The one thing we're missing on this scooter from that RS5 Max is the steering damper, and it is a little bit wobbly on this scooter, but as you can see, there's a screw right here, and you could in fact add the steering damper to this scooter as well, I believe, that fits that RS5. You could make it a bit better, I think, if you put the steering damper, maybe some PMT E-fires on it, a little wider handlebar, but this scooter rides pretty darn good. For $10.99, this is how I think about it. I mean, there's a lot of scooters for $10.99 that have suspension, but most of them are terrible suspensions, and none of them are really comfortable and nice to ride. This one kind of is breaking the mold because it is comfortable to ride, but it's still cheap. And this thing, it flies. For $10.99, you compare it to like say a 9-bot Max, that's like 20 whatever miles an hour. Here you're going 37 miles an hour on this bad boy. It's fast. Get it easily up 40 downhill on this thing. But anyways, I feel like that's enough talking about the scooter. In general, it's great. I don't think you'll go wrong if you buy this. It's an easy recommendation. Alright guys, we got the Dragy going. If you don't know what this is, it just syncs to a lot more satellites than your phone, so it gets a lot more accurate top speed. It's about 61 degrees out, so we won't probably get the full 37. We might get 36 just because it's a little cold out. That's kind of how scooters are. If you don't know, it's affected by obviously the weight of you and a lot of other factors, but mainly also the weather and the ambient temperature outside. If it's very cold, you get less range and power. If it's about 75 degrees or up, you'll get optimum power, and then above like 100 degrees, it really starts getting problems with overheating, 110 degrees even. But the way this thing works is we'll go find like a stop sign with the straightaway after it, and then we will hit reset, and it'll basically time our takeoff as our acceleration, and then we'll also obviously get top speed. It does look like the screen is reading maybe too fast, 2 miles an hour faster than the real GPS speed, which is not too bad. A lot of other scooters are much farther off. We could try our first Dragy rip here if we line it up right. Let's try it. Send it like this way. So hit reset. Now it should get our data on the takeoff. 0 to 30 speed is really what we're interested in on scooters. There it is, locked it in. It says successful run. See how quick we can get up on top speed here. It seems like about 33, 34. 37 down that little hill. Hit reset. There we go, we're good to go. And let's get it. Put our visor down. Got our 0 to 30. Second one to average it. Let's let the tractor go. Oh, he's going right? Okay. Welcome to Iowa. He's got flames on his John Deere. That's sick. There's a 0 to 30. I'm gonna call it 35 top speed today, but we can get a little better if it's warmer out. This is a good top speed spot. See what we can get. About 35. Let's check it on this next run here. And let's get it. $30. Scooter still cruises phenomenal though. I'm gonna stop and turn off this Dragy so I can listen to music. That's the downfall of the Dragy. You can't run it and listen to music and screen record it. Alright, let's get it. Get my Prof back on. Get my mind right, you know?
You don't put a saddle on a Mustang. Grab a gun, put some acid on the tongue, hurry and let's ride.
Brake test. It doesn't really lock up the tires too much. Pretty good braking for a little bit of skid, but not a whole lot. See, compared to like say that Go Tracks with those 11-inch more knobby tires, that thing skids a lot. So this is definitely more of an on-road, on-trail, bike path, whatever scooter. Not really too off-road for me, in my opinion. Just from the 10-inch tube tires, it's not something that you really want to put through that type of stress. You'll end up with a lot of flat tires. See how the horn is? Let's see how the blinkers are. Can we see them during the daytime? Let's see with the right side blinker. Not really. I mean, sort of. Let's check from the back. I mean, kinda, you can see it. Better than actually most in the day scooter blinkers. So, not too bad. I'll give them like a 7 out of 10 for the blinkers. Lots of traffic today, Maureen. You can take the street with it, plenty of power. You're not scared. See if we can make this green light, baby. Full speed on a railroad. Pretty nice. Suspension on it is decent. Like I said, unless you hit a massive, massive thing and you bottom out, like a jump or hitting off of a curb or something. But over normal stuff, even like just decent sized railroad tracks, the suspension definitely handles great. It's kind of amazing to me that this scooter is only $1,100 or whatever, because this same scooter a couple years ago would easily be $2,000 for a similar spec scooter, and it wouldn't have even had as nice a screen or as cool of features like removable battery and stuff. It would have been a lot more basic, and it would have been $2,000. So in just a few years, we've come such a long way that this scooter is in this price point. It actually sort of wrecks the market. I don't know if anybody's really talked about that with this scooter on their reviews yet, but it sits at a price point far below where it should be. This should easily be like a $1,500 scooter in my opinion, and the fact that they're giving it to you for so cheap really makes it a no-brainer to buy this thing. Coming up on the left. Quick pickup speed when you pass people. Quick pickup, get through any spot like that really easily. Here we go, a little hill test for you. See if it's clear. Good to go, floor it. Cruises up pretty much any of these bike path trails easily, 25. We'll get it in some more roads here in a minute too when we get closer to the sandwich shop. It's really just like a 010X to me, and it's that way because it's from the same company. It's from Titan Company. They originated with the T10 DDM. If you are familiar with that, the original 010X before it was rebranded came from this factory. So it's no surprise this is just like an updated 010X, and they make it another brand because Zero actually kind of went out of business, I believe, because there was another company, a motorcycle company also named Zero, that owned the trademarks, and they were operating under a name that they couldn't, so they rechanged the name. That's, as far as I know, that's kind of what happened here, is they're using a new brand just to be separated, but it is the same factory. What really matters in these scooters is what factory it comes from. The T10 DDM has a great lineage, so this comes from a good spot. This scooter comes from a good factory. That's what I'm trying to say. It comes from one of the best factories. There's a little controversy, a little drama. There's always something. But Roadrunner, obviously, you can see a very distinct resemblance to these scooters. Maybe there's a few things changed all around it to make it so that it's just different enough that it's not the same scooter. But it is not just a rumor. I actually have confirmation from the owner of Roadrunner that this is essentially a clone of his scooter, and it may not have been done in poor faith. You know, I don't know if there was really a, you know, patent on the designs or anything, but I do know that after working with Roadrunner, they have went their own separate way with this company, Ausom, and their design, and they're selling an extremely similar scooter, right? And that is the original factory that Roadrunner was working with. So no, you're not buying a Roadrunner, you're buying really an updated T10 DDM. That's how it looks to me on this scooter. Let's do a curb hop, see how she handles. Oh yeah. Right up to top speed. 39, 40. Got a little tailwind this way or something. The scooter could definitely use a steering damper. It gets a little bit wobbly at top speed, as you saw there. Great scooter for transitioning though through different terrain. If you gotta go from bike path to road to bike trails and all this different, we're going through construction zone right now like it's nothing. Just hope we don't hit a nail or whatever, but let's get it. Knock on wood. Really, really smooth on a sidewalk like that. Suspension is really, really just perfect on this scooter. Rides amazing. This is a fire scooter. I can't even believe the price. Like, they should easily just charge more for this, but that's kind of why they were sold out all summer. I didn't make this review. They said wait till August. They sent me the scooter 2 months ago and then said, right when I got it, they said wait till August. We're sold out right now. And I was like, dang, that was quick. Look at this. Gotta love when a sidewalk just goes to nowhere. What's this about? Alright, let's look at the range quick before we go eat. Halfway done, we're at 7.3 miles, so we might make even a further couple loops down here before we head back. See you guys here in a minute after my sandwich.
Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, man.
Dude, I think I've seen your page.
Scooter gang.
Yeah, you're Scooter Gang, dude. That's
Yeah.
sick. Dude, I've been watching.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you too, bro.
What's your name?
Jesus. Dude, can I get a picture of you?
Yeah, for sure, man. You cool being in a review? I'm like making a video right now.
Yeah, of course.
For the Ausom Gallop. That's what it's called.
This one go?
About 37, maybe 40 downhill.
I think you're the reason I actually got into scooters, dude. I have one, but
You have one?
yeah, I got one. It's
Nice.
It's just a hover one.
Nice.
Journey.
That's how it all starts, you know?
Yeah, eventually I'll get up.
Yeah, it takes a little while.
It was nice meeting you, though.
You too, bro.
Hopefully I'll see you around.
Yeah. Jesus, right?
Yeah.
See you, man. I happen to see this stand over here. We're gonna grab Jordan a cantaloupe real quick.
I can help you pick out your meal. Actually, probably just sit.
Really? You better let her pick it out. I got a cantaloupe from Aldi's like 2 days ago, and it was all rock hard, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sorry. When are you gonna cut it up? Today, tomorrow?
today actually, if that's possible.
Yeah,
Cool.
for
Keep
you.
the change.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sweet. Glad to have that off-road scooter and suspension. Test off-roading here, half battery. See if we can make it up this. Oh yeah, easily. It's a perfect scooter to like get around campus. I think if I was a student, this would be my fast scooter for when it's like not raining, and then I'd have like a burner scooter for when it's shitty out. That's what I would do if I was a student these days. Alright, we're down to 53.6 right now. Getting close to half. I think half's like 52 on the scooter. Nice scooter. I think he said scooter gang. Sorry, I got my music playing. I couldn't hear. Coming up behind you, bro. So to see on the left, brother. Thank you. Take the scenic route. Happy Friday, people. Woo! I love Friday riding. Sometimes in life there's a traffic jam in the street. You just take the sidewalk, baby. Best thing about having a scooter. More and more people are really starting to catch on, but it's so few that you're still an early adopter if you get a scooter right now, and you get to avoid all of this nonsense up here. This crazy traffic. This is Iowa too. It gets 10 times worse. The bigger the city you're in, the worse the traffic it gets. This is actually crazy, the amount of traffic right here. How many cars we just passed? We just passed like 50 cars. I don't know if I don't even want to put the timer up on this. It'll just make everybody so mad. Look out for people like that aren't really paying attention yet. Alright guys, we made it back. We're at 18.6 miles right now. We still have 49.7 volts. So I'm just going to swap the battery and keep going. Maybe get another 5-10 miles easily. Alright, the scooter warmed back up to 50.4 volts. 10-minute break. And we're going to keep pushing it. I don't think we're going to make it much farther here. Maybe to Hy-Vee if we're lucky. So we got 25.3 miles there, real world range with a 200-pound rider. Pretty good. I don't even know if the camera's still going. We're going so slow right now. There's a rollerblader about to pass us. It's about to shut off on us. And we're gonna go in the grocery store and call Uber.